Why the hell are we back here?
We're sitting on $7 million here. I say we take it, take $6 million and build a time machine. May 10, 1965. That's the day Warren Buffett took over at Berkshire Hathaway. Take my half and just stick it into Berkshire.
That's it, buddy. Nothing you change.
Well, that was illuminating. Would have been great to see when we actually were at that point. Last season. That's such poor storytelling, dude. Oh, hey guys, remember that great episode you all loved? Guess what? There was more to that. And here it is. And it will have relevance to this final episode. Enjoy! The cockroach is back in its natural habitat. Don't bother calling, dude. That guy's dead.
Anybody home? Hands, now!
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Just like that they found him. All he had to do was stay quiet in there for a while. Okay, this is his award scene, huh? Bit early in the episode, though.
Bill Oakley speaking.
Trust experience, trust Oakley. I like that. It's catchy.
Saul?
You got it, buddy.
You know I'm gonna have to report this call.
Whoa,
No
calm
need.
down, Junior. The cops know all about the call.
So they finally caught you.
Listen, this is your lucky day.
The case of your career, dude. Cameo alert!
Money laundering.
8 counts, 20 years each, 160 years, stat max.
Accessory after the fact to multiple murders.
Including 2 decorated federal officers, 15 years each.
What did Saul have to do with the murder of Hank? And Gomi?
Listen, you've got Agent Schrader's widow back there. Why don't you invite her in?
What
You
for?
over that much, don't you?
What is this? What does Marie have to do with Saul? Has she actually ever met him before?
If somebody was in trouble, no matter the time, no matter the place, Hank Schrader would be there. With a smile and a joke.
Just like Saul.
His partner, Steve Gomez, Steve and Blanca made a home that was warm and full of laughter. 3 children.
Where are they? Can't we just bring them in too? Why does she have to speak on Gomi's behalf now?
Shot dead and left in a hole in the desert.
And what does that have to do with Saul?
You helped the two-faced, poisonous bastard behind it all. For what? Money.
Holy shit, this is just bad. So forced.
2 men threw a sack over my head. They hogtied me, and they drove me out into the desert. I was kneeling in front of an open grave with a gun pointed at my head. That was my introduction to Walter White. Yeah, I worked for him. I made a lot of money. I did it because I knew what he would do to me.
And you think jurors are gonna buy that?
All I need is one.
You're not going to negotiate with this man. You're not.
How about you shut your mouth? You have nothing to say here. She shouldn't even be in this room right now.
After sentence has been imposed on the counts to which defendant pleads guilty, as agreed herein, the government...
Man, that woman is really pissed.
7.5 years. Term to be served at FCI Butner Low, North Carolina. I visited a client once at ADX Montrose, the Alcatraz of the Rockies. No, that's a deal breaker, my friend.
FCI Butner, Low, Wing
D.
Why would they even make a deal with him? Are you kidding me?
You're talking about Howard Hamlin. That's your sweetener.
Kim Wexler walked into the Albuquerque DA's office last month. She spilled her guts about Howard Hamlin.
You got nothing left to sell.
So what about you? What regrets?
When I was 22, I pulled a slip and fall outside Marshall Fields. I actually hurt myself.
So you were always like this?
Thank God he told us. I mean, we didn't really know from watching the entire show, so they had to make that point.
This man's a federal prisoner. I'm a U.S. Marshal. I ask you not to speak to him.
That's my lawyer.
Is that true? You're his lawyer?
Yes.
How did this guy not even know that was his lawyer, dude?
Kim took her sworn and notarized statement and hand-delivered it to Hamlin's widow. All I can tell you for sure is that Mrs. Hamlin's out lawyer shopping as we speak.
Hold up, Bill. The Hamlin thing, the government doesn't know the half of it. It involves her.
You give the government more, maybe they bring the hammer down.
Maybe he will just do it to see her again, but not actually go through with it in the end.
One of the nice ones with the shock absorbers. But twins? They need a double stroller.
Thank God we saw her sitting in her office. That was important.
Fill this out, and before you ask, there's no charge. All our services are free.
Actually, I'm here to see if I can volunteer.
Can you answer a phone? Sure. Then there you go.
Central Florida Legal Aid, how can I help you?
Dude, come on. Now all of a sudden she goes back to the law after 6 years. Hey, yeah, right.
CR 10-7253, United States of America versus defendant has requested to use the name Saul Goodman. So it's United States versus Saul Goodman.
They don't use his legal name?
Your Honor, I'd also like to note the presence of the victims who are here this morning. Marie Schrader and Blanca Gomez.
They're not victims of him. Dude, this is pissing me off that they're forcing these two in.
My every waking moment was spent building Walter White's drug empire.
You are contradicting your plea agreement's sworn factual basis.
No offense, Your Honor, but I think I know the law here better than you do.
Your Honor, I'd like to petition to withdraw from this case.
Oakley's out of here.
I lied to the government about Kim Wexler. Fed him a load of BS about her involvement in Howard Hamlin's murder. I just wanted her to come here today. I wanted her to hear this.
Knew it. Called it.
My brother Chuck, Charles McGill. You may have known him.
The exit sign.
That thing with your brother, that wasn't even a crime.
Sit down and stay seated.
He's about to. What the fuck?
I'm James McGill.
Oh, he's Jimmy again. What a transformation. Great character development.
The additional claims Mr. Goodman, Mr. McGill, has now admitted to, including perjury on this court,
evidence.
Why is Oakley even trying? It's quite clear that Jimmy doesn't give a shit anymore. Oh no, Chuck's back too, dude.
I
Are you
was starting
kidding
to
me?
worry.
My car conked out on the 40. I almost got creamed by a cement truck.
They are basically just patting themselves on the back here over and over again. Hey, remember this guy? Remember that storyline? None of this is relevant because we've seen it all. We know it all, unless we're morons who can't remember anything. Jesus Christ, dude. Did you feel his eyes, dude, or what?
I know you.
What? Why are you talking to him? Huh?
It's Better Call Saul.
Hey, Better Call Saul.
Alright.
Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
And now the musical number starts.
Saul, lawyer's here. I got your song.
It's probably just Kim. Can't end without a last conversation.
Man. No cuffs, please.
Just like old times. just leaning against the wall, smoking. Ha! Can't we get a flashback to one of those moments? Don't you dare end on a Kim shot. How can he be here already, if she just came out? Remember that iconic moment? Well, the positive thing is that this episode is in line with the previous episodes. So, at least we have consistency. Now I won't go into detail and explain everything I disliked about this season. Just to make it short, I think the separation of Nacho and Lalo was a big mistake. Not putting them against each other and killing Nacho after 3 episodes. It killed any tension for me. And I even said it after the 3rd episode, that the cartel storyline is pretty much dead. And it was. All it got us is the gigantic plot hole that was Lalo's German adventures. Another thing was the drawn-out Howard scheme. It went on for way too long and was needlessly ambiguous. They could have easily told that storyline with 2 episodes less. And then they would have actually had more time to explore what happened in the second part of the season. And here we enter what's probably the worst mistake they did. The time jump after Kim's breakup. Up until then, we followed this story chronologically in great detail, sometimes too much detail, and really experienced everything these characters went through. But then at a point where we reach one of the biggest crossroads this show has ever seen, they just skip ahead. Skip all character development, skip the natural progression of these characters and the story, and just jump to alternate versions of them. That doesn't work. It might work had the show been like that all this time, but it wasn't. For 5.5 seasons, it wasn't. It was natural progression. I mean, in what universe do people consider it a great choice to jump from Kim's breakup to Kim being the complete opposite of herself? They basically skipped the journey. And this show has been all about the journey. I've heard that line multiple times in the past when I complained about how there's a lack of tension because we know the outcome of Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's about the journey, not the destination. Yeah, well, what did they do in the second half of the last season? They skipped the journey and jumped to the destination. And as a result, the story just suffered because that last part of the journey is missing. Because you didn't really know these characters anymore, because you didn't see them become those characters. Especially Jimmy's strong focus on Kim after 6 years just doesn't make any sense. Why is he still so hung up on her? I mean, apparently she's supposed to be the reason why he lost his marbles and went through with that robbery. She's also supposed to be the reason why he gave up his 7-year deal, and it just doesn't add up. What also doesn't make sense is how he suddenly transformed back to Jimmy. It was last episode when we saw him almost hurt 2 people. We saw him this episode putting on the old Saul persona and negotiating the deal. But just at the mention of Kim, he throws it all away. The Kim he hasn't seen for 6 years. You can't even use Breaking Bad to fill in the gap that they skipped here, because Kim wasn't even a part of that. They basically just rushed from plot point to plot point, without proper development, without letting these characters live, without letting us experience their struggle. And in doing so, they basically threw out 5.5 seasons of development.